I've interviewed loads of software developers over the year, and one of the questions I'll often ask people in a job interview is this: how do you stay up to date with the latest trends in software development? This is one of the few questions that you'll get asked in a job interview that really does have a correct and an incorrect answer. In this video, I'm going to share with you what works and what doesn't work if you want to stay current in this industry. Okay, so let's go over the incorrect answers first. If someone asks you, how do you stay up to date as a software developer? The two incorrect answers are one, well, I don't really bother, and two, I spend all of my free time doing software development. It seems to be a terrible culture in our industry of engineers feeling this pressure to immerse themselves in coding, both inside and outside of work. You code at work, you code at home for a hobby, and when you're not coding, you're like reading Hacker News or Reddit or chatting to developers or something. Well, look, I promise you, that's not healthy. And a potential employer will know that that's not healthy or sustainable. Yes, it's good to be passionate about your craft, and it's good to show an interest in what's going on in the world, but never do that at the expense of your life outside of work. You will burn out eventually, and also having a life outside of work is incredibly important to nurture the other skills you need as a software developer. Soft skills, like, playing team sports will improve your ability to work in a team. Going to the gym will keep your body healthy, which will keep your mind healthy. And obviously spending time with your friends and family. These things are all more important than reading Hacker News or learning about software development 9 hours a day. So that's what not to do. But what can you do? After everything I've just said about having a life outside of work, how can you find time to stay up to date without eating into your downtime? Well, here's some tips. Number one, get an efficient news feed. We all live in a world of scrolling down a smartphone screen, so be smart about what you're scrolling about. Set up a Flipboard or a Feedly feed, or spend a little bit of time fine-tuning who you follow on Twitter. Spend time researching some relevant subreddits or signing up for some decent newsletters, and also filter out irrelevant stuff from your feed. If you have half an hour a day that you already spend scrolling down your phone, then make it count. Efficiency is the key here. You need to make every bit of procrastination count so that you're always learning. Okay, tip 2. What if you don't have time even to scroll through Feedly for half an hour a day? Then do it on work time. Do it in that half an hour between 2 meetings. Here is a screenshot from my actual calendar. On Thursday mornings, I have exactly 30 minutes between these 2 meetings. So how much software development are you actually expecting to get done in those 30 minutes? Like, none, okay? This is a popular meme about context switching, and it's popular because it's true. If your boss comes over to your desk and asks you why you're reading Reddit instead of writing code, just be honest. Just say to them it's important that I keep up with the latest events in our industry so that our company doesn't get blindsided and can more effectively plan ahead. Look, I've been managing software engineers for years now, and I've never, not once, come down hard on someone who wanted to spend a little bit of the company's time staying current or learning. As long as you're honest and transparent about it, and you do keep it down to relatively short periods of time each time, then personally, I've never seen this cause a problem in our industry. As a manager, I love that I can go up to any of our engineers and ask them, for example, what's the latest version of Ruby and how much better is it than the one that we're using in production? And they'll be able to tell me that. And if they need to be paid to find that kind of stuff out, then fine. All right, the third tip I have for you is this: create a collaborative space inside your organization for engineers to share things that they find. It could be a Slack or a Teams channel, for example, but if you find an interesting article or you find something important in a release note, share it. Create your own internal news feed of things that other engineers in your organization think are relevant to the tech that you're using. Okay, number 4 is possibly the most effective, and that is to attend events. Go on meetup.com or Eventbrite and search for local groups and local events in your area. If you have companies employing software developers in your area, then you probably also have meetups. And if you don't, you can look at some virtual online meetups in more populated areas across the world. I would encourage you to go and attend events in person if you can and if you feel safe doing so. And the reason for that is that events are more than about just what you learn, they're about who you meet. And meeting and interacting with more people who work in software development is probably the single biggest thing that you can do for your career and also for your personal growth. It's also a pretty good place to hear about job vacancies. A lot of recruiters attend these kinds of events and sneak their way in. So finally, my fifth tip for staying up to date as a software developer is to read survey results. And this one's fairly easy because surveys don't come out very often, but when they do, pay attention to them. Stack Overflow does a developer survey every year. In 2021, they surveyed 80,000 developers. So when that survey comes out, block out an hour or so in your life just to read through it. Look for trends, research any topics that pop out at you. Is there a new programming language, or there's a JavaScript framework that everyone's raving about? Then go and spend the time to investigate, see what it's about, try it out. Go on YouTube and watch videos about it. Go and subscribe to my channel while you're there. But anyway, in conclusion, try not to let yourself get overwhelmed by all of the new stuff that comes out. Even if you do all of these things, stuff will slip you by, and that's okay. I'm going to let you into a secret, right? Even the most active and engaged thought leaders in our industry get blindsided sometimes. You can't always be the first to hear about everything, so don't expect to be. I hope these 5 tips have helped. I'll leave them up here on the screen. Please check out my other videos for tech tips, coding tips, general career advice for people wanting to break into the tech industry.